Car payments are getting out of control.
As car payments become more expensive than ever, tonight 1 in 6 buyers who finance new are paying more than $1,000 a month. The staggering price to sit behind the wheel, rivaling the cost of putting a roof over your head.
The good news is that Navy Federal Credit Union is here to do something about it. In this video, we're going to break down how you can lower your car payment with Navy Federal and how they're actually paying people to actually refinance with them. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, what is an auto loan refinance? Let's just keep it simple. An auto loan refinance is when you take your current auto loan and you actually have that same loan with another bank, okay? And so in this case, you were paying Bank One and now going to be paying, Navy Federal in this particular example, okay? Once you move everything over to Navy Federal, now you're going to be able to start paying them. And hopefully it has a better interest rate and a better term. Now, refinancing doesn't always mean that you're going to be able to get a better term. It just depends on what you qualify for as an individual. And of course, your credit score, your income, the age of the car, the miles on the car, that's going to play a role as well. All right. Now they have interest rates as low as 4.54%. Okay. And now, of course, this is why you guys are here. Right here where it says refinance rates are as low as 4.54%. But OK, now this is if you go with a new vehicle. OK, now they also have some pretty good rates, which I'll show you that in a second for used vehicles as well. But you'll be able to get that $200 bonus when you refinance your auto loan from another lender. Let's get right into those and see exactly what you need to do for that. OK, now that's at the bottom here of the page so you guys can actually see this. And I got it right here. All right. So now as you guys can see here, credit and collateral are subject to approval. This means that you obviously have to have the certain type of credit score. Your income has to be a certain amount. Just depends on how much you're actually to refinance with that as well too. And of course the collateral, which in this case is the car. As I mentioned, you have to have your car can't be that old. So once you start getting cars that's like 7 years, 8 years, 9 years old, it may or may not qualify. They may have a mile limit per how many, what year the vehicle is as well. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. Existing Navy Federal loans are not eligible for this offer. That means if you have an auto loan with Navy Federal right now, it will not, I repeat, it will not be eligible to get the $200 bonus. Okay. Now keep in mind, you can refinance with anyone. So if you all have Navy Federal and you have an interest rate that you can probably get better somewhere else, you can still refinance that vehicle with someone else. OK, but this is people that's bringing their auto loan with another bank to Navy Federal. OK, the auto refinance loan must be at least $5,000. The loan must be open for at least 60 days with first scheduled payment made to be eligible for the $200. This means that if you got a brand new car from, let's say, the dealership, okay, and let's say you got a Chevy and you finance the vehicle with Chevy, or you got a Mercedes and you finance the vehicle with Mercedes, okay, you must have that car for at least 2 months, and then you can go ahead and go with their program. They don't want you to get the car on Saturday and then think you can refinance with them on Monday. And it's not that you can't do it, you just can't get the $200 if you do it that way, okay? And this will be credited to the primary applicant savings account between 61 and 65 days of the loan origination date. Now, the offer may end at any time, and the recipient is solely responsible for any personal tax liability arising from that incentive, which means that anytime someone gives you additional money, a bonus or credit or anything, technically that is income and you're supposed to add that to your taxes. OK, let's go into some interest rates as well as some frequently asked questions as well, too. OK, so one of the questions that, of course, I always see is, well, Calvin, you know what? Does it make sense for me to do a refinance? My interest rate is X. OK, let's talk about that. So now, if you are going with 36 months, yes, you can get an interest rate as low as 4.5%. But again, that's 3 years. If you want to stretch that out a bit, then you can go to 4.9 for 37 to 60 months. You can go to 5.29 if you go from 61 to 72 months, 7.19 for 73 to 84 months. And if you really if you really need this amount of time, then we need to reevaluate some things anyway. But anyway, 85 to 96 months, and you can get that for 8.09%. That's actually an amazing interest rate, especially at between 85 months and 96 months. OK, now the used vehicle. All right. Now, if we're talking used vehicles, you're going to be able to get an interest rate as low as 5.44%, and that's up to 36 months. If you go from 37 to 60 months, you'll have an interest rate of 5.99%. From 61 to 72 months, you'll be at 6.09%. And then of course they won't give you this amount of time on a used vehicle, 73 months or more. Okay. So now, they also mentioned that loan terms greater than 72 months are only available for vehicles with fewer than 7,500 miles. OK, so that means that they don't. So if you drive, let's say, for example, well, yeah, that makes sense because, like, for example, if you all like go to the dealership and you get like a demo vehicle, then that's where that kind of comes into play. OK, how many miles is on the vehicle for it to be deemed still new? OK, next would be a minimum loan is at least 30,000 for the terms of 85 to 96 months. That's actually pretty good. When banks start allowing 96 months or more, I would say about 5-6 months ago, probably a little bit longer. But when they first started rolling this out, the minimum finance was about 80,000. So for them to have this now 30,000, that is huge because there's a lot of people that may want to refinance that. They can't, not to necessarily just refinance it. Of course, if it's a new vehicle, then you'll be able to understand those particular rates. OK, but again, not every vehicle is going to qualify. All right. Now, they consider new vehicles, new and late used vehicles from 2023 to newer with 30,000 miles or less. That's what they deem a new vehicle. OK, used vehicles are 2022 or older model or any model over 30,000 miles, and vehicles 20 years or older based on model year are considered classic or antique and subject to other eligible vehicle rates. OK, which means that they'll let you know what that rate's going to be once you apply. Now, why would you want to refinance your auto loan? You could lower your interest rate, decrease your monthly payment, or pay off your car loan sooner. OK, now I got to give a quick disclaimer. Don't forget, anytime you pay off your car sooner or any loan, that's mortgage loan, student loan, auto loan, personal loan, anytime you pay off any of those loan types, your score will drop a little bit. OK, that's because the algorithm is essentially looking for you to have the loan for the entire term. OK, so just keep that in mind. It's OK. Technically, it is paying off the other one. But again, at the end of the day, you most definitely want to make sure that you're saving money. It's not always about the credit score. Don't get too caught up, guys, in the credit score. OK, you have to make sure that things make sense for you. All right. Next is a fast and easy application. Obviously, if you're already a member with Navy Federal, that's going to help you big time. Decisions are made in seconds. There's competitive rates as well, too. You also get the exclusive discount for military members as well. And you have the opportunity to earn a $200 bonus when you refinance your loan from another lender. What's the key word there? From another lender. OK, so again, you got to have your loan currently with another bank, and then you'll be able to go ahead and take that to the new bank. OK, then you also get 24/7 access to stateside member service representative. OK, now let's say, for example, this is just a calculator real quick. OK, let's say, for example, you have a $30,000 car, you're 72 months, and your interest rate was at, let's say, for example, you was at 10%. OK, this is going to save you $9,200. OK, versus obviously if you take it down to that 5,000 rate. OK, that's a huge difference in that amount of money that you're ending up spending on that. OK, so just keep that in mind as you're going through the process, and it breaks that down as well. All right. Now, again, to refinance is real simple. All you have to do is apply, fill out the online application, takes a few minutes. You let them know how much you owe on your current loan, and obviously a few other details as well. Then most applicants get a decision in seconds. OK, and you want to look out for an email with refinance details. And then, of course, you'll see if you can get the bonus. If the loan you're refinancing is at least $5,000 and you meet other criteria, they'll credit your savings account with the $200 bonus. That's huge. A lot of people are not paying people any type of incentive or bonus or anything for refinancing with them. All right. Then, of course, they went into what's some of the benefits of refinancing auto loan. As they mentioned, lowering your interest rate. Why would you want to do that? Because this means that you can get a lower monthly payment and pay less interest over the duration of the loan. OK. Next would be shortening your loan term. A shorter auto term means that you can pay off your car sooner and pay less in overall interest. OK. Now, how much money could you save by refinancing your auto loan? Well, it just depends. Just do the math on what you're paying right now versus what you would be paying if you refinance. When should you refinance your auto loan? It's gonna be a little bit different, but I always tell people as soon as you can. If you have the scores and you want to catch it while the car has a certain type of year, a certain amount of miles, you want to do it ASAP. The timing for an auto loan refinance depends on different factors. You may want to refinance if, one, rates have gone down. So keep that in mind as well. Like if you bought your car in the last 12 months, rates are going to be coming down towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. So keep an eye on that. Or your credit score has improved, which means that you could qualify for a better rate. Do you know how many people have bought cars and they didn't have the best credit score? So that means they didn't get the best interest rate and they just been paying on that for years, for months. Okay. And they haven't taken the time to say, okay, let me see if I can save money on a monthly basis. Okay. Or number three, you like to shorten or lengthen your loan term. Okay, so keep that in mind. How long should you wait until refinancing your auto loan? There's no set amount of time that you need to wait before refinancing your auto loan. Next, are there any fees associated with refinancing an auto loan? No, they do not charge any fees. And last but not least, could refinancing my auto loan negatively impact my credit? Refinancing your auto loan will lower your credit score temporarily. Why is that? And you know what's so crazy? I actually like that Navy Federal mentioned that, because a lot of people don't ask those types of questions. But like I said, anytime you pay off a loan, anything that ends in the word loan, anytime you pay that off a little early, paying it essentially earlier than what the expected payoff time is, the score is going to drop a little bit. Why? Because the algorithm expects you to keep it for the entire term. I know it's stupid. We do not agree. Okay. Now, if you like this video, you're most definitely going to love the next one, and we'll see you there.